Hello everybody, today we are going to learn about fixing parts of cell references in Excel. You all know what are cell references. For example, this cell here where the value of 1 is put is cell number B3, this is cell number B4 and so on, this is cell number B7. Now if I want to create another column of values where every value is plus 1 of the column V, then all I have to do is I have to say equal to B3 plus 1, and I can do command C or control C depending upon Windows or Macs to copy this, and then I paste this. Now see what happens. I just copied and pasted, but what has Excel actually done? If you go to view and say show formulas, it will show you the formula. So when Excel copied it downwards, it didn't copy the formula exactly as B3 plus 1. It was smart enough to update the formula as it was going down. So when it is going down, it changed B3 to B4, then B4 to B5, B6 to B7 and so on. To see the result of this, you can again go and you can turn off show formulas, and you can say that is how by simple copy paste it is able to extend one formula all the way down the column and give you the right values. The same thing we can do when we do for rows as well. So let's say we create this whole thing in a row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the next row I want to do a plus 1 of all these values. Then all I have to do is equal to C3, which has the value 1 plus 1. So this my cell C4 will become cell C3 plus 1. Now the manual way of doing it, I again go to cell D4 and I say D4 is equal to D3 plus 1, and I keep doing it manually. But the simple way of doing in Excel is you just do a command C or a control C to copy it, and then you paste into all of these cells, and immediately like magic all the values have become plus 1 of the cell above them. How does this happen? Let us look at the formula view. As you can see that this time, since we were going in the same row from left to right, so this time the 3 was fixed, but C, D, E, F keeps changing. Can you see it? Let me show it once again. I'll show both the examples simultaneously. So this will be plus 1, and if I copy it, right? So since the most important thing to understand is what is fixed. First of all, remember that a reference, the cell name or the cell reference in your Google spreadsheet or Excel is always column number and then row number. So for this row, this number 1, it is actually B, which is its column number, and 6, which is the row number. So this is cell B6. I wanted to make cell C6 as B6 plus 1. So that is what I have done. Now when I have to make the same thing for C7, C8, C9, C10, when I do copy paste, since I am going down, Excel knows that the column is not changing of the input. So for the output also, it will not change the column, it will only change the row number. Whereas in the example above, the row was the same, so it kept the row as 3 and it kept increasing the column C, D, E, F, G. So let us turn off the formula view, and you can see the magic of Excel. This is the default behavior of Excel. Whenever you try to do anything, let me take one last example. Let's say you want to do 2, 3, 4, 5, and you want to do a complex formula, right? This feature becomes very handy when you are doing a complex formula. Let's say I want to do a square of 2 and then a cube of 2 and then add 1 to it, almost like an equation. So it will be B3 again, because the value 2 is in the cell B3. Power operator in Excel is this sign. So I am doing B3 to the power of 3. Then I am doing again B3 to the power of 2, and then I am doing plus 1. Can you see this? I'll wait for a moment so you can see it properly. You can also give spaces Excel is able to handle spaces so that you can see clearly. So it is B3 cube, B3 square, and then plus 1. So this is the formula, and the answer is 30. Now if you have to type the same thing again and again in every cell for its neighboring cell, it will become very, very difficult. So all Excel allows you to do is you copy it and then you paste. When you paste, can you guess what will B3 become in the cell before it? Below it, I'm sorry. Right? The column is the same and the row is changing, so B3 will become B4. Then it will become B5. Then it will become C6, B6. So that's how it is able to save your time by smartly extending the formula when you are doing copy paste. I hope this is understood, and you can try many more examples. You can try for rows, you can try for columns, and you have to understand the biggest advantage is that it is saving you time, not having to type a complex formula again and again by just doing simple copy paste. Now, sometimes you want to override this behavior. Let me show you how. Let's say that in like the same table you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but this time you want to keep a variable here, let's say 3, and what you want is that 1 should be multiplied by 3, answer should come here. Then 2 should also be multiplied by 3, answer should come here. 3 should again be multiplied by 3, answer should come here. 4 multiplied by 3, 5 multiplied by 3. Now you can see the problem here. I will do is equal to, I will do C4, I will do multiplied by, and I will do D2. So C4 multiplied by D2. I press enter. Very correctly it gives the answer as 3. In the next row, I want 2 multiplied by 3. But if I do simple copy paste, quick question, what do you think the answer will be? Some of you may have guessed it correctly. It will, since in this formula, as you can see, let me open the formula view for your convenience. In this formula, since it is using two references, C4 and D2, if you do a simple copy paste, what will happen? C4 will become, if you go down, C4 will become C5, but D2 will also become D3, right? So when you are going down in the column, anything it finds in the formula that is a cell reference, it sees ki okay, I am going down the column, so any reference that I see of a cell, I have to increase the row number, I have to keep the column the same. If I was going along the row, then any cell reference I see, I have to keep the row as the same, and the column will keep changing. So let us see the formula first. I copy it, I paste it here. You can see now C4 became C5, column is the same, so row is increasing. D2 also became D3. If I were to copy it and paste it here, you can see again, now row has to be the same. So 4 remains 4, 2 remains 2, but C became D and D became E. So now if I go back from the formula view to the value view, you will see funny things happening. Let's remove this 0, this is 1. So 2 multiplied by 3 has come as 0. We know that 2 multiplied by 3 is not 0. So what do we do? Right? And we have to do this for all so many things. One way to do it, that you manually correct it, that instead of D3 you make it D2, answer will be corrected. But when you copy paste, again nonsense will happen. Again you will say D3, correct it to D2, and again you will get it correct. You will have to go manually. Another option some of you may think is, let's not use D2, let's use 3 directly here. Now 3 is a constant, when I copy it, again no problem will be there because everywhere it is 3. But then what's the problem? In your whole setup of the experiment or whatever problem you are doing, let's say you have to suddenly change 3 to 4 everywhere. If you have to change multiplied by 3 to multiplied by 4, then you'll have to so this thing is irrelevant for now. Then you have to go in each cell, you have to change 3 to 4. Here also you have to go change 3 to 4. Here also you have to go change 3 to 4. So manual work is increasing, time is getting lost. Hence we keep constants in these kind of cells, and then we, instead of saying this thing, we say constant, so that when this table is computed, next time if I have to say 1 multiplied by say 100, I just have to do 100 here and automatically value should get updated. But coming back to the original problem, this is not happening, because if I am copying from here, D is also changing. So instead of multiplying by 100, 2 is getting multiplied by this empty cell. So it is becoming 0. Empty cell is 0. 3 will be multiplied by what is in front of 1, because again it will come 1 down. 4 will be multiplied by what is in front of 2, and all sorts of nonsense numbers will be generated. Let's see those nonsense numbers. See, this is what is happening. 1 multiplied by, let me color this. So 1 multiplied by 100 is 100. 2 multiplied by 0 is 0. 3 multiplied by 100 is 300, and so on and so forth. So to solve this, what we have to do is we have to keep this 100 should not change, but this should keep changing. So for fixing a part of a reference, Excel gives us the facility, or Google spreadsheet gives us the facility to use the character $. Can you see the dollar that I inserted before 2? So the dollar is applying to the one before which it is inserted. So now whatever you prefix with dollar, that part will not change in the formula. Let me show you this example. So C4 multiplied by D $2 we have done. Now when I go down, and let me first go to the formula view so you can understand what is happening. Forget this because it was copied earlier. Now I have made C4 multiplied by D $2, and now when I go down, do you see what is happening? The row number next to C is changing, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But row number next to D, because of the dollar, is now not changing. It is fixed. This dollar you can put either in front of 2, you can put in front of D, you can put in front of 4, you can put in front of C. So it is working for part of the reference, either the row reference or the column reference, and then you can create smart tables like that. So now let's see the result by going to the normal view. Now you can see 1 multiplied by 100, 2 multiplied by 100. So every time it is using this one is changing as you are going down, but this it is always using the fixed rate value because you had always put the dollar before it, right? Similar thing can happen. You can see some strange thing happening. If I put let me go to the formula view and say, if I put, and now you should keep asking yourself also what will happen, right? If I were to make this also dollar, before I actually show you the value, you should ask yourself what will happen. If I copy it downwards, will it become C5, C6, C7, C8 now? No, it will all become C4 only. C anyways will remain C because we are going down the column, so column will not change. D anyways will remain D because we are going down the column, so D will not change. What was changing earlier was the row number, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4. The moment I put dollar, I have locked it. I am not letting it change also. So if I copy this and I paste this, nothing is changing. CD is not changing because that is Excel's default behavior. You go down the column reference number does not change. The 4 and 2, it would have changed, but I have fixed it. I have locked it by putting dollar. Now what will the values be? You guessed it correct. All the values will be simply 100 because everywhere it will just multiply 1 by 100, 1 by 100, 1 by 100. It will not go down and change even this to 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see the result in the output value, right? But we don't want to do this. This was just for giving you example. What we really wanted to do was C4 we wanted to change, but D2 we want to stay fixed. So this is the formula we wanted, and this is the result. And now the smart thing we have done, we have put a constant upwards. So if I want to change the entire table, instead of 100 times, let's say this was X and this was Y, right? And always try to format things a little bit when you do it. Let's say it was X and it was Y. Now I want to say Y, this, so now this table is basically for the function. You know the function, right? You know the function. This is for Y is equal to 100 multiplied by X. So y is equal to 100x is the table right now. Now if I want to do y is equal to 300x, I simply have to do 300 here. Entire table will get updated because I was not using the constant in the cell, I was using a reference. Okay. Two last examples I will show you. Same thing I will apply to row, right? One thing in Excel is very useful. If you have to take a column and make it a row, it's very easy. You do Command C or Control C, like copy it, and then when you paste it here, you don't do paste, you do paste special. And when you do paste special, it will show you paste transposed. All of you know what is transposed. So it will transpose. Column will become row, row will become column. So we are taking a column and we are pasting as transposed. So the entire column has become a row. Okay. Now let's delete this. Excel is all about saving time. You do things in a way that you just have to do copy paste and everything should work. You make effort only once and then you just do copy paste and the whole set of values become. Now if I had to say that I have to create a function as let's say y is equal to say 10x. Let me write the equation here. Y is equal to 10x plus 3x square. Again you will see the symbol I have put for square. It is the reverse V. We call it the hat or the caret symbol. So I'll give some spaces here also so that you can understand better. So this is the equation. We are saying y is 10x plus 3x square. Okay. So now in this, what are the constants? The coefficients. 10 is the coefficient, 3 is the coefficient. And I will make my Excel smart that tomorrow if I have to use the same cell for say 9x plus 7x square, I shouldn't have to make changes in multiple places, right? So I will say, let's call it y is equal to ax plus bx square. I want to make something like this. X values are here. This is the independent variable. Y, which is the dependent variable, I will put a here and I will put b here. This time I am saying the coefficient a is 7 and the coefficient b is 10. Now what will be y, right? Y has references to 3 different cells. It has reference to x, it has reference to a, it has reference to b. What's the difference? The difference is x cell will keep changing because it is a variable, but a and b cells will remain fixed because they are constant coefficients. So how will I write the formula in this? That's the biggest question. So I have to find a first. Where is a? A is in cell number D7, column D, row 7. So I say okay, D7 is a. Now I can't write x directly. Ax actually means a multiplied by x. So you have to put the multiplication operator. You can't just write after this x is in D10. So you can't write like this, right? Immediately you will see that the color has changed because Excel cannot make sense of it. When it is making sense of it, it is making it slightly pink. It is telling you also, okay, you mean this. But the moment you do this, Excel is saying, I don't know what you mean. So D7, multiplied sign you will have to put. And then you have to say x. X is where? Right now x is in D10. So we have AX. Then we have to do plus. Then it is B. Where is B? B is in cell number D8. We have to multiply by and you have to do x square. X again is in D10. So you will have to repeat it. D10. And then you have to square it. Square. So this formula so far so good. For this cell it is fine. And let's check it also. 17. Right? 7 into 1 7. And 10 into 1 10. 7 and 10 17. 1 ka square is also 1. But the moment you do this, disaster will happen. And you also know why disaster will happen. If I copy and paste under 2, what will happen? All the references that you see here, let me show you the formula. And let me widen this a bit so that I can see the full formula. There are many references in this, cell references. So 2 is a value, but then D7, D10, D8, D10, all are references. When I am going across in one row, what will it do to these references? It will apply its standard rule. It will say that for all these I will not change the row number, I will only change the column number. So what will happen? 7, 10, 8, 10 will remain the same, but all the D's will become E's. Let's see in the formula view. Right? If I copy and paste again, all the E's will become F. 7, 10, 8 are not changing because they are the row numbers and we are moving in the row. So when you're moving in the row numbers won't change. But as a result of this, will you get what you really want to get? Of course not, because your constants are only here. Constants are not in this thing. So if you now look at the values, it has become 0 because empty cells are getting used. What do you want to do? You guessed it right, you want to fix the values of the constants. Constant should not move, variable x can move, right? So let's look at the original formula once again, right? In the original formula, d7 was a constant, right? So we can say fix d also and fix 7 also. Don't move anything, right? I'll tell you the difference later on. You can make it work by just fixing d, because 7 anyways will not change because you're moving in the same row. But just to be on the safe side, you can make d. So now you're telling Excel lock d, lock 7, इसको lock किया जाए, don't change it, but change d10 क्योंकि d10 में there is my x, I want to change it, I want to move it along with my y. Again d8 constant, lock d, lock 8, don't move this please, but this please move, enter the value, right? Now if you copy it here, you can see that d has not become e, d has not become e for d7, but d has become e for d10. So the x has changed, but a and b have remained same, exactly what we wanted. Now you can collapse it and you can see the magic. The magic of Excel happens when you start playing in large numbers, when you start making big tables, right? In small tables you don't understand the value, right? Now you have understood the formula, so I'm changing back to the value view. Now in just one copy paste, I have generated the entire, and now this table is fully extendable. You want to put say 500 here, the value of x, and you want to see, you just have to do copy paste, you're getting this value, right? You can even have a z downwards, right? And let me center line this. What will happen, right? Now ask yourself, what will happen if I take y and I copy it below it, right? You can work it out yourself, but let me call it out as one last time example. We are going down the column, so anything that is not logged will change, but column numbers won't change, row numbers will change because you are going down. So in this formula d7, right, let me show you, you're seeing the formula here also, right? D7, D and 7 both are locked, they will not change, but D10 is not locked and you are going down, so row will change. D10 will become D11, D8 will stay locked, D10 will become D11 here also, and you paste it. What has happened? Now Z, is Z using the same A as Y? Yes. Is Z using the same B as Y? Yes. Is Z using the same X? No, because when we came down, D10, see the magic, right? Sometimes it is magic, sometimes it can lead to nonsense and wrong results. D10 became D11, so now Z is actually becoming a function of Y. So what we have done is, now Z has become, in mathematical terms, A dot Y plus B dot Y square. This is what Z has become. So I think, I will stop at this moment. I think broadly you guys would have understood what is really going on, and I encourage you to solve these two examples to understand it better. The best example to solve for are two things that we do. If you are able to do these two things, that means you have understood ranges. One is that, let's say there is 1 2 3 4 5 6 and so on. This is x, and in this cell I want to do sigma x. What is sigma x? Sigma x will be, in front of 1 should come 1, in front of 2 should come 1 plus 2, in front of 3 should come 1 plus 2 plus 3, in front of 4 should come 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, and so on and so forth. You understand what I am saying? But you have to do it by using references smartly. And the second problem that we are going to do is matrix multiplication. You can say A here. Let's say there is a matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there is another matrix like the first column of the matrix, and the first row of the matrix is 1, 2, 3. Let's keep it simple. I want each cell here to be the multiplication of the headers. So this cell number H5, this cell should become 2 multiplied by 3. We do it many times, 6. This cell should become 5 multiplied by 1. So this is what I want. Every cell should be the multiplication of the header column and the header row. And I want you to just use references and copy paste like the way we have discussed. Now I'm going to give you the answer. I would encourage you to stop the video at this point of time, try the problem yourself, and then come back and see the solution. So now I'll get into the solution, assuming that you have solved the problem or at least tried to solve it, and now I'm going to show you the solution. Sigma x is what? To begin with, 1 is 1, so we can keep it simple. But what is 2? 2 is basically 2 plus whatever has been added up till now, accumulated up till now. Think about it, right? Like for example, if you look at the number 6, if in this row, if in this cell, let me color it, if in this cell I have the total of all the numbers from 1 to 5, if you remember the mathematical induction from your school days, it is like that. If in this cell I have the total of all the numbers from 1 to 5, then in this cell it will simply be this total, which already has 1 to 5 total, plus 6. Add just one more. Now when you go to 7, you have to take this one, which anyways has all the total till 6, and you have to add 7. So it is very simple actually. If you have understood this concept, then all you have to do is just keep 1 as 1, and after that just keep doing 2 plus 1, and just go down and copy paste. You will get the full sigma function. This one, let me center line the whole thing so you can see clearly. This one had no play of dollar, because you want both to change, right? When you are going down, you want B to also change. B, this you are going down like this also, and this also you are going down like this, right? So it is simple copy paste, and you can extend it to any you want, right? Even this extending you don't need to type, right? What is 2? 2 is 1 plus 1. What is 3? 3 is 2 plus 1. So now if you have already defined that this cell will be the cell above it plus 1, then you just can take and copy paste. See the magic? You have generated numbers till 18 without typing. And then same formula, don't copy 1 because 1 was a constant, it is a special value. Let me color it grey. But after that formula starts, just take this and copy paste. You can check also, 171 is nothing but sum of all the numbers from 1 till 80. Okay. Now coming to the matrix problem, that is slightly tricky. It will use dollars. In any cell like this, what you want is that when you are going down, the column header will remain the same. Okay. So you will select this. It is going to multiply by H2, but when you are going down, then also you want H2 only. When you are going further down, still you want H2 only. Whereas Excel will make 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So to fix, you will fix H2. So that way you have captured, you have made sure that all the time you are multiplying by the column header, not by any other cell by mistake. And similarly for row, you want to fix the row now. So for fixing the row, sorry. Yeah. For fixing the row, you will do, fixing the row we have done in this one because we only wanted the second row. You have to, now we have to fix the column. So for this one you want only column F, not column G. So you will say fix column F. and then take 4. Can you see now? So I have done F4 into H2, which is the logical thing to do, but I am saying that when I copy paste, please don't change F. Don't make F into G or G into H. And similarly for this value, keep the 2 as fixed. Don't make 2 into 3, 3 into 4. Now when I do this and when I copy into this thing, with one copy paste, you will generate the full matrix. You can check anyone. So that, thank you for your time. It was a slightly long lecture, and you can try many things like that. I will again, as a recap, show you the formulas that we have used. This is very useful. You can show the formula anytime, and through the use, understand when you copy paste how. So this example is showing you that when you copy paste, how automatically Excel advances the column and the row views, and this is showing you that how can smartly by using the dollar you can lock something and make sure that the whole table behaves the way you want it to behave. The whole objective of the exercise being that you should be able to work in terms of references, and you should be able to do big numbers, big tables, big projects just by doing simple copy paste, not having to type things again and again and again, right? So I hope this was